Hello everyone. Yesterday we had done the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So the physical properties of metals and non-metals is finished yesterday itself. Let's recall all the physical properties of metals and non-metals. See, the first one is physical state. The metals are hard and non-metals are the soft solids. Exceptional cases are everywhere, as metals are also having the exceptional case of mercury. Mercury is available in liquid state at room temperature, while sodium and potassium are the soft metals which can cut with the help of knife also. Although all the metals, the property of metal is not suitable for these two cases, as metals are hard, but sodium and potassium are the soft metals that they can cut with the help of knife also. Now the non-metals are the soft solids, but the exceptional cases are also there. Bromine is a non-metal which we can find at liquid state in room temperature, and many other non-metals are available in gaseous form also, that is sodium, nitrogen, argon, helium, hydrogen, etc. Okay students, now after that the next property is the conductivity. Metals are the good conductor of heat and electricity, while non-metals are not. The third property is malleability. Yes, metals are malleable, that they can convert into thin sheets, while non-metals will get break. Fourth property, they are highly brittle. Non-metals are brittle, means they have low tensile strength. They are breakable, while metals are unbreakable. They have very high tensile strength, means the tolerance, means breakability, unbreakability. Okay students, now after that density. Yes, metals are highly dense, they have high density. Metals have high melting and boiling point, while non-metals have not. The next one is ductility. Metals are highly ductile, while non-metals are not. They will get break. Ductility means metals can convert into thin wires. Okay, as I had given you the example that gold is having a very high ductility, but more than gold, platinum is there. Platinum is the most ductile metal, and malleability, gold is the most malleable metal. Okay students, now after that sonorosity. Metals are sonorous, that they can produce a ringing sound, while non-metals not. Clear everyone? This is the recall of physical properties which we have studied till yesterday. Now today let's begin with the chemical properties of metals. See students, in your syllabus the physical properties are in the comparison of metals and non-metals, but chemical properties are of only metals. Clear everyone? Yes, let's begin with the first chemical property, that is formation of ions. See students, as you have studied about ions in your previous class, let's recall some knowledge related to that from your previous class. Yes students, you all know about the valency, you all know about the atoms, that elements are having some atomic number, some specific atomic number. They are following a particular rule of having electrons around it. These are the shells present in their structure, and electrons are arranged in these shells, isn't it? You all know about it. In all the elements, not only Na, not only sodium, in all the elements, the first shell contains only 2 electrons maximum. If the atomic number is more than 2, it means rest of the electron will move to the next shell, and the maximum electrons which are present in the next shell is the 8. If the element is having more than 8, then electrons will transfer to the next shell. This is the rule which you have studied in your previous class. Yes students, now next thing is the atoms have the power to lose or gain the electrons to form the ions. See students, all the electrons to make them stable. Atoms wants to make themselves stable. To establish their stability, they lose or gain the electron. If they are losing, they will receive positive sign. If they are gaining, they will receive the negative sign. And this number that here it is written +1, it denotes that sodium is losing only one electron. If it is written, if +2 written over there, it means the sodium is releasing 2 electrons. But as you all know, the atomic number of sodium is 11. Means sodium will have the valency, have the electronic configuration of 281. First orbital, first shell contains 2 electron. Next orbital contains 8 electron, and the third one contains 1 electron. And if the sodium will release that 1 electron which makes the sodium unstable, then sodium will become stable? Yes. They feel most stable when their outermost shell are full, means they have 8 electrons in them. So that sodium will release 1 electron to different compounds. As you all know that sodium chloride will form. Sodium will give 1 electron to chlorine, and then chlorine will complete by receiving that 1 electron, because chlorine is having 7 electrons in its outermost shell, isn't it? Have you remember that we had done this example in our previous class also? Yes. After that, see, the next one is aluminium. Aluminium is having the atomic number 13, and the electronic configuration of aluminium is 283, and aluminium wants to release 3 electrons. That's why aluminium is receiving +3, 3 plus charge. These 3 plus is the ions. Whatever the amount of electrons a particular element is releasing, means losing or gaining, that is its ions. They can be negative or positive. If the element is giving the electrons, then it is positive, and if it is receiving, means gaining, then it is negative. In this case, I want to tell you that all metals have the tendency to lose the electrons, hence they develop positive charge. Yes students, metals have the property to lose the electrons. You can think about it. See, aluminium is a metal, it is also losing the electron 3. Sodium is a metal, it is also losing 1 electron to complete its outermost shell. Lithium is having 3 atomic number. The breaking of atomic electronic configuration of lithium will be 2-1. It means lithium will also lose 1 electron to complete its outermost shell. See, outermost shell contains 2 or 8 electrons. Then the particular metal or element will behave as a stable element. Okay. So now the first chemical property of metals is that formation of ions, and in the formation of ions, metals have a tendency to lose the electrons. Let me recall one more thing to you all. You all know that atoms can release up to 3 electrons only, because they have to complete 8 electrons in their outermost shell. If they may have 4 electrons, then what will happen? Nobody is able to give 4 electrons, and nobody is able to take 4 electrons. In that case, if they are having more than 3 electrons in their outermost shell, then they will share. They will not going to be lose or gain. This you have studied in your previous class also. And now the next case, if they are having 6 electrons in their outermost shell, that is oxygen. Oxygen is having an atomic number of 8. the electronic configuration of oxygen is 2,6. Means 2 in the first shell and 6 in the next shell. So not even a single element can be able to take that 6 electrons, and even oxygen will not give. Oxygen wants to take 2 electrons from someone so that its outermost shell will become stable, because 6 is more than 2. Okay, so that's why oxygen will take 2 electrons from someone. That in the case of water, H2O, 2 hydrogens. Hydrogen is having 1 atomic number, and oxygen used to share the atomic number of hydrogen in the case of water to make a compound, to make a stable compound. And then it takes 2 electrons to hydrogen, from hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 1 from one hydrogen and 1 from the other hydrogen atom. And oxygen will give 2 electrons to share, not completely giving. So in that case, water will form. In this case, when oxygen wants 2 electrons from some compounds, oxygen is a non-metal, and see, the property of non-metal is established over here, that non-metals gain electron. That's why oxygen is receiving -2 sign, because it needs 2 electrons to complete its outermost shell. Clear, everyone? Students, for today you have to study about this chemical property only, because if you understand this property properly, then you will develop this sense of chemistry. This is the base of chemistry. Every time if you develop this sense of establishing the relation between the loss of electrons and the gain of electrons, means you will be able to understand the concept of valency and ions. It means you will develop the base, a proper base. So you need to understand about this property only for today. And yes class, no homework for today. Okay, we will get homework only on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, MWF. Okay students, thank you everyone. And if you have any query, call me. I will explain it to you. Okay, thank you.